Workshop with Bitquery. Bitquery provides GraphQL APIs to access data from 40 chains. And today we are going to have a workshop on DEX trading analysis together with group lead at Bitquery, um, Gaurav. And really excited to be bringing this workshop to you today. And it's brought by MetricsDAO. And MetricsDAO is a Web3 analytics community. And in this community, we have a bunch of different educational programs that we offer, as well as analytics challenges that everyone can take part. John, our Discord server to get involved if you haven't already. Right. So let's jump over to workshop. And if you have any questions over the course of this workshop, do drop them in chat and we will ensure to answer them today. So, Gaurav, then over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi guys, my name is Gaurav. I work at Bitquery. Bitquery is a blockchain data provider. Last time we had a call and we had a workshop where we discussed about Bitquery products. Today I'll give a very basic overview of our products, and then we will go into analyzing dexes on basically Ethereum. um, I'll also show how you can do it on different chains or multiple chains. But today, after the overview, we will be seeing some interesting analytics around dexes. So, Bitquery provides Bitquery indexes around 40 blockchains, and we index everything from, and we open service specific APIs. Other than, of course, you can access all sorts of transactions, blocks, events, smart contract calls. You can have text data, you can have NFT data, you can have token data, you can have money flow APIs. We also push data on cloud infrastructure, so you can have access directly from there for majorly for building ETLs and sort of those things. So BitQuery is majorly a data provider which provide tools to analyze blockchains. Also, one of thing we have is our IDE, which I'll show in a bit. Other than that, we have Public Explorer, which is more analytical explorer. You can see we'll use this explorer today also to see some how can you dig into some interesting data and maybe start use our APIs because Explorer has everything and everything is basically APIs on Explorer. Uh, then we recently launched streaming APIs, which is targeted to provide real-time access to blockchain data. There is a talks. I'll you can check. I'll share this PPT after the workshop. You can go through it, and you can see the streaming API is pretty cool. You see blocks faster than public explorers, so it's pretty cool to see that and actually get the data faster than anyone else, basically. Cool. So let's talk this. So these are like images which I try to do correct, but I'll show you ID and queries directly, and we'll see how to build charts directly from ID. So let's analyze basic aggregated value from different chains. Example, today we'll analyzing Matic, Ethereum, and BSC. So for example, here we just analyze. You see the number of counts. So let's see if how much transaction or trades happening on Ethereum chain across different dexes. Example, Uniswap, SushiSwap, all the dexes which we support like Curve, 0x, Balance, and etc. So you see this, and you see this JSON data. Actually, usually you see this JSON data only when you query it. You can actually visualize data through here. Go to text, then bar chart like this. So you see this, and you can actually make it big. You see the trends on Ethereum for this is since uh, I think 1st May 2021. You can go behind. Yes, it's from 2021. You can, if you want, you can go behind Also, like you just change the date, for example. You see the majorly it picked from 2020. There was around million transaction today. This month is going great, and Ethereum indexes sees a lot of trades. I guess a lot of trades recently on Ethereum dexes. This May is the highest. I guess it might become highest when it finishes overall. So it's interesting data, and you can check this for. This is Polygon. So Polygon is declining. Uh, you see, this is it's continuous declining trades and currently doing around 6 million trades. This month around 6.5 million. Last month around 8.5. Ethereum is doing this month it did around 15 million, 15.6 million. Ethereum did last month 11 million. Even so, you see that these chains which are built for having faster transactions on the best, they were doing like 50 million. Ethereum is not even reaching it, but when market is low, most of the money is on Ethereum, most of the trade also. BSC is pretty interesting chain, and I think it won't. Let's see if able to give all the data. Yes. BSC's maximum trade in 1 month was 196 million. It's huge. And even though in this month BSC did 47 million, it's more than combined Matic and Ethereum. You see, like BSC is not might be not very famous chain, but it has a lot of economic activity, and you see the number of trades which is it's able to, and it is consistent and has slight pickup in this month. So this is like basically just number of trades which we checked. Let's check different other things. So let's see traded currencies example. Uh, we'll close this. Let's see traded currency. And I'll show you after this because I stopped after certain matrices which I think was important. But you can start chain level, and then you can go into dex level, and you can also go into a token level. So Graphql APIs is pretty flexible to actually show you aggregated view from a different point of views. So I'll show you how to actually do that at the end of the workshop, that you can also do different types of analysis through yourself. And this is very simple basic query. So currently this is just getting buying currency, like how many currencies are like in the buy side. On similarly you can just change it to sell side. uh, so for BSC you see like current this month it has more than 55,000 currencies which are traded on BSC this month, and at peak it was more than 92,000. For Matic it's around 3,200, around it's around it's keep having around 3,000 to 3,500. So you see where BSC is doing more than 50,000 currencies. Matic is doing around 3,200, and Ethereum is doing 21,000. So there are a lot of trades, a lot of tokens which first get created on Ethereum, which has a lot of things. Ethereum, maybe you see BSC also is one of the favorite. So and then some of them go to Matic or secondary chains, and many times they don't go. And this is one of the uh, example you see, like, and BSC is pretty interesting because it has most economic activity in terms of trading. Similarly, let's go to check number of traders, and this is very interesting metrics because I'll show you how to actually do it for different chain also here. Only one query. So let's get for Ethereum. Okay, let's. Okay, cool. This is Ethereum, around 500,000 traders. This month is picked up. I guess Pepe is the reason for this month. And we can actually test it out. I'll show you how to test it out. Also, like why this month this you see this high volume actually. So you see, um, this is around 500,000 on This is traders around on Ethereum this month. On Matic, you see, and let's run BSC. Matic, it's around 240,000 on Matic. Around this month, 252,000, around 250,000. And on BSC, it has 1.6 million. So BSC, in terms of trading, BSC has like winning from far than Ethereum Matic. And I'll show you how to change for different chains. For example, we support like Ethereum Classic. These are like AVM chains. There are a lot of different chains. So you see Ethereum, they are Ethereum type chains. So that's why it's showing in the network. So let's say Avalanche. Yeah, Avalanche is doing around 60, last month 40 and this month 60,000 um, trades for the chain for the these are number of traders. There are 60,000 traders around, and BSC has around 1.6 million. Similarly, you can check for different chain. Any other chain, for example, let's say Cronus. See Cronus. Cronus has around 14k this month. Last one 18k. Let's say Clayton. Yeah, Clayton is same around 10,000, 8,000. This month is like 5,000. Cool. Let's see some other matrices. Let me close this. So you saw that like how you can just simply change one one parameter, and you can just have data from different chains basically. Okay. Uh, Okay, we already saw traders. Let's see trading volume. Trading volume is little tricky because one of the problem with trading volume is like BSC has too much data. It has too much data actually. Other chains do not have that much data. So, and sometimes you also have problems in getting USD value. So you get sometimes there are pairs which are or tokens which are getting traded against native currency or some third currency, and you don't have USD value many times. So that becomes sometimes tricky to get exact trading volume, and other than there's too much data actually. So and we calculate it on runtime, so we don't save. So currently our database is not actually save aggregating the save value. It's actually runtime multiplying USD value and trying to calculate it. So for we'll get for last 4 5 months only, for because there's too much data actually. So you see Matic actually is this year. It is from first. It is doing around 6 billion, 7 billion, 8.5 billion. Last month around 4.3 billion. You can see last month is not good for crypto. This month is not very good also. And on the other side, Ethereum has um, 60 billion, 80 billion, 130 billion, and then last 2 months around 60 billion again. Similarly, BSC, if you see, can you get BSC for last 3 months, let's say. Uh, last, we'll see. It will take a lot of time. And you can check for meanwhile it is getting, you can check for like for example Avalanche or Clayton or other things. There might be some cases where we don't have USD price, so it might show low, but mostly for major chains we have this. Adding USD, adding some USD value is not a problem with us. Okay, cool. Let it run. Any questions till now? See, it's around 1.2 billion. 1.3 billion on Avalanche. Any questions till now? No.
Yeah, we do
Okay.
have some questions in the chat.
Okay.
So Popma was asking the square in the lower right blocks the chart. Not sure what that is there. Do you
Ah,
did you understand the question?
okay. This block, the lower left block, I guess this one. This is about. This is query parameters. You can I just using parameters directly in the query. You can write it from here, or I mean, you can parameterize it because of course we provide APIs. So you can this is graphical APIs and you can parameterize it like here also. And this is for display. This is not just display. This is like a toolbar where you can actually change response into flat file and download as CSV. And then we have some visualization where you say like this. We have some chart. I don't know how this is pie chart example. Yes, I don't know how the charts will behave, but this is like table format. You can actually flatten the response and get CSV actually using this. So yes, so for example, like this, you can add columns. Mm, see, this is yes, we can download it from here, and we use it today for this visualization. Okay, and it is too much data for BSC. Uh, we'll see from 30th last 2 months if it is work if it works. Cool. And one more thing, you see like the only one thing if you see the queries, for example, this is query for traders, and you see almost all the queries same, only this thing is changing. You see this for example, and this for example, here we are getting trade amount, here we are counting takers, nothing else. Cool. Maybe BSC will okay. BSC is doing around not much, is 32 billion. It's not more than, even though if you see compared to Ethereum, uh, you see there are a lot of trades, but there's not that much volume. So there might be trades happening at a very high frequency, but it's not high value trade. There is one more reasons, because there might be currencies which are getting traded and do not have USD price anywhere else, because we're trying to calculate price trade amount in USD, and that might create a problem because there might be currency in there might be currencies which even do not have any USD pricing, not included here. Okay, we'll go next. Okay, then now we'll explain. Do you have any question, Veda? Any other question?
Yes, we do actually have another question by Amir, which is points are calculated for each query and are deducted from the total points per month. So that was a question to clarify if that's the case.
Can you repeat, please?
Sure. Points are calculated for each query and are deducted from the total points per month question mark.
Yes. So when we ran this query, it took I think 4.67 points, and this is the breakdown of the points. Points are basically the resources you take on our infrastructure, and we provide 100,000 points free every month. For it's a free, like you just sign up, you get 100,000 points for free every month. So it's yes, you get like those points are get detected. For example, in your account, you will see uh, your API usage. There you will see how much points you are actually consuming, the API cost, points you consume, and they are detected from your billing basically. For example, I have a lot of points, but yes, usually people get only 100,000, not as much. Okay, we'll go next. This is about how to actually query top exchanges on different blockchains. So you see this number one is Uniswap. It's doing around 15 million trades, and then SushiSwap is very small, and 0x balance, they all are very small, like almost negligible when it's compared to Uniswap. And you see for different chains also, example. Let's see if it is. And this is for last 1 month, uh, not very old. On Pancake, you see Pancake V2 is now doing 38 million trades every day. And Ape Shop is doing around, I don't know, it's not showing it. Let's see the data. Ape Shop is doing around more than 400,000 uh, uh, ape, trades per month, or last month basically, or since in the May. This is just about May data. And this is null because this is a exchange, but we don't recognize the name of the exchange. We parse this exchange, but we don't know the name. That's why it's the null. Uh, so if we parse any protocol, example, let's say if we parse Uniswap, then anyone who is using Uniswap, we will showing the trades for them, but we might not naming them. You can always get their trades using their factory contract. Let's say Matic. So there's a, I think it's a quick swap only V3 deployed, which is using Uniswap V3. It's doing around 3.4 million. Then quick swap whole one 1.8. We don't know which one is it. I think it might be Uniswap itself. I guess on Polygon, which is doing 3 point more than 3 million. And quick swap 1.8. Sushi balancer Uniswap V2 DY. I don't know what this is. DFIN. So that time, so we can basically can check exchanges like this. We'll go next. Okay, I'll show you something interesting also. So let's say, what are the queries? What are the tokens which are getting traded a lot, which are getting bought a lot this month? So here I'm just excluding WETH because WETH is the most bought, like most traded token on Ethereum. So if you see for this month, I guess it is for this month only. Yes, this month. You see WETH is like 8.5 million times included, then USDC, USDT, and then Pepe. This Pepe is actually created extra thing, I guess, as I'm thinking. Yes, this, and then there's some magic coin. I don't know which coin is this. And then my lady and like that tons of coin like this. Uh, then you see same thing, and this is why I reduced this W8 to show you actually which are these currencies which are uh, getting traded a lot. So these two, if you want, we can actually exclude these two also. Let me show how to do this. We'll go into text trade. Here you see the exact data which we have. You see this USDC is changed to not in, turn into error, and you add like this. Okay, cool. If I run it again, you can see. Let's see top 15. Next trades, buy. You can see like Pepe, Turbo. These are the top coins basically. Okay, cool. We'll go and you can check it for different chains. Example, let's say for BSC, uh, we don't know which one is it, so we'll. Okay, we remove this. So because there are different contract types on different, because here is WBNB, even USDT's contract address is different, so we remove this filtering clause. You see WBNB is the most traded, and then there's some depth token, pancake token, and then BNB Doge. There is a coin called BNB Doge, which is getting traded. So you can, and here if you want to extract it, you can extract it like this. like this. Like this one. Now you see, you remove all this nice. Not heuristic coin is still there. You see this top flow key is one of is still getting traded a lot. Some BV token sort of those. So this might be helpful for analyzing text related data. Any questions till now? Any more questions?
Yes, we do have a couple. So one is how much delay in updated blockchain data in Bitquery?
Good question. So we put it out like usually EVM change that we have two models. So this you see this is graphql.bitquery.io. This is one endpoint. This currently Ethereum has 16-minute data delay data. Usually it's 1 to 5 minutes, and it depends chain wide chain, which chain you are using, and Binance Smart Chain is currently only 2 minutes delay, around 3 minutes. But let me show you something. So let me show you our streaming APIs, which are targeted to have no delay. Let me write, and you see this is different endpoint, and even schema is different. So here it supports webhooks, and it also supports Dex APIs, Dex Trade APIs, which doesn't have the same things which I built here. You can build it here also, actually. Yes. I'll show you something interesting. Work, we'll see. On head. Okay, cool. Let's write a subscription. You see, it's start giving you the latest blocks it has, and it parts data also. I just wrote a simple query, but you can write more complex query. So let's compare it to base scan. Base scan has this 88283. It has already 8786. You see, even 85. It has it. So it's faster than at least it might not be correct comparison, but it's a pretty fast system, and it is in beta, and it is not working in its full potentials. I mean, like there's not much hardware behind it. I guess only one node is behind it. Um, so it can be very powerful in pushing out real time system. Yes. Questions?
Awesome. We also have a couple more. Is BI used in BigQuery modules?
Mm, I don't know. Is BI used in BigQuery models?
Yes, that was the question.
Okay, so I don't understand, but let me understand. So BI is mostly you build BI using our application. So BigQuery is majorly mm, data infrastructure provider. So we provide data as an infrastructure, but we provide tools to make life easy to pull data from us or use our own products more easily. For example, we developed this IDE to enable developers or maybe and also analysts. So actually, they can query data using IDE, which makes um, which which makes it easier rather than just giving you API documentation. We built our Explorer example, and this Explorer has multi-chain Explorer, and everything is a widget here. Example, you see the get API. You will see this get API everywhere. Example, let me show you. And this is more analytical explorer. So for example, like this, you see get API. Now, if you click on this, it will open the API which is getting this data, and you are seeing this is data, and it will open the API which is getting this data. So see, so explorer is much easy to get started, and if you just see, like it's the same thing, but it's a just different different way to visualize it. But you see this, like uh, so we make tools which help you to query our data, and of course you can use it into BI, any sort of BI, because these queries are very flexible, and you can pull data from very different point of views. It is very good for aggregation. I don't think there are other queries which are that good for aggregation data. Yes.
Thank you. And there's one last question I have, which is, are there ready-made templates for creating standard dashboards for use in BigQuery?
As I heard, it's are you asking there are templates for building dashboards?
Yes, yes.
So we have templates for building queries, and you can use that query to build a dashboard. Um, for example, let's say you see on this explore part, there are like 409,000 queries which are built by us and our community, like people who are using, you see, like people who are using our product or our ID, and you can check this API. So let's say you want to see something around transfers. Okay, you see some like transaction transfer API. This will help you to understand what data is it's giving you. It's pretty straightforward once you get it. So it's Ethereum transfer API, getting block, senders detail, transfer details, and these are parameters. You're getting the, and this is getting for some specific currency, I guess. So once you get the data, once you find the data which you are looking for, then you can simply let me show you something. Okay, for example, this gave the data, and then this is not, I guess. Okay, let's say uh, this is a chart example. You see this JS button. You can just copy this JS button and put it. It's not. I think there is. See, you see this JS. If you copy and paste this JS, it should work on any place basically, and any HTML file. I believe so. Yes, if I put it into, let's say, let's put it on JS Fiddle and see, or you can put it into I guess uh, what's something else. Let's see, or should I segregate? Yes, see, if you just put it anywhere, and you can just build a simple dashboard. So I just copy pasted the same thing. Let's say if you want this graph, and in your dashboard, you click on this like this, it will open the API which is getting that talk. You run that API, change the parameter if you want, extrade bar, then click on this JS button. Sometimes it's get difficult. We'll fix this. It's not stopping somewhere. Oh, okay, cool. For example, let's put this and run this. Okay, it's the same chart which you see here, and it's the same chart. Just color is different. It's the same thing, and you can change queries. For example, let's say I change query here and I get 15. Let's get 20. Okay, and uh, somehow it's only showing 10 values, but you get the idea. Like this can simply get you more details. You can simply embed these things on your chart basically. Okay, cool. This is because it's going 10 because it's only the date is problem. Any other question?
I think that these were all the questions so far.
Oh, cool. See, I can build if you know little bit JS, or like if you don't even know JS, you just copy paste this JavaScript and put it somewhere. Basically, it will work. Awesome. And we have an article called uh, offline dashboards, where you can just save them as a JavaScript. And yes, offline dashboard. You can just if you open this is JavaScript. This is just HTML file. I don't know if it open or not. It's pretty old article. But you see, this is simple JavaScript file, and this is just built out of queries. Nothing else. This is simple queries. Write simple queries. You get these charts, and these are like you can see this is a chart original. This is actual chart embedded in the website, so you can embed it anywhere. Yes, I think this need to change. If you see, this is just simple JavaScript, just having queries. That's it. Okay, cool. Um, how much time we have?
So we have about 15 minutes
Okay,
max.
now let me show you something. For example, how to tweak things basically. Uh, let's use this. So BitQuery has a lot of interesting things. Like you see this query, and let's say you want to know what can I do, what options are present. So if you just, for example, count is a matrix where you can say I want to count unique, and this is you see a auto complete. I just clicked Control CTRL plus a space. It is showing you different types of options available: senders, makers, takers, base currencies, code currency transactions. Smart contracts involve states, basically protocols. For example, let's say protocols. It's not correct. Yes, you see on different protocols, there are 20 protocols which was traded on different days, basically, usually. So it's more powerful in terms of just able to see what type of options available. Let's say we go and let's query a DEX, let's say Uniswap on Ethereum. So this is Uniswap example, and you see there are a lot of stats we already provide. There are number of trades by time. You see like how many trades happening per day, how many takers are there, how many currencies are getting traded, how many DEX contracts are there. I mean, usually these are pairs uh, who may be getting interacted on a daily basis, or a different token address. Like how many contracts overall involved, tokens, pairs, and everything. You see volumes related data, you see latest trades, token pairs details, etc. So you see this is volume related data, and you see we are separating them based on a protocol. So Uniswap is an exchange which has three protocols. Uniswap one, like basic Uniswap V2 and V3. So Uniswap is exchange and also a protocol. But when Uniswap company deploy the Uniswap protocol, it's called Uniswap. So that instance, uh, the Uniswap protocol deployed by Uniswap company is Uniswap exchange. Once Uniswap protocol is deployed by SushiSwap company, it's a SushiSwap exchange, but the protocol is still Uniswap. So you see, we see aggregate a difference. We see you can also see how much trades happening, or you can get stats pay for Uniswap exchange, but for a specific protocol inside Uniswap exchange protocol. So you see these are latest trades on Uniswap, and you can see all sorts of detail: sell currency, buy currency, you see USD volume, etc. These are like token pairs. You see like which is like it's last 1 week data. You can change it. You see I think these are trade. These are mm, sort based on number of trades. So RFD currency and WETH has the most trade in last 1 week. If you see, I think it's a refund coin. Yes, yes, it has a last so much trades, and similarly you can build queries to get liquidity, volume. You can build queries for top gainers, losers, examples. Uh, Let me show you. And see, this part is subscription API. See, it is every time is a new block comes, it is showing new trades automatically. It's get updated every time there is a new Ethereum block, and if it block has a trade, basically see like this, and you see it's getting traded on Uniswap, 0x, and all this available in API. So you can check it for any exchange, any token you want. So you get API everywhere, and these are like it's pairs. Uh, you see this amount of it's basically trade daily trade amount of this token example 3 billion, and then yesterday it was less than a billion. Today is half, almost half. You see number of trades. So you see that on 19th it has a lot of volume around 3 billion, but there are only 1800 traders, 1900 traders, and it peaked around 16,000 traders on 23rd, but the volume is around 1.1 billion. You see how much currencies is traded against. So on 19 it was only traded against one currency, and then on 23rd it was against four currency, and these are like unique contracts. So you see like you can get tokens specific uh, trading dex trade data, which is pretty interesting, and you can also get pair specific dex trade data if you want. You can get latest pairs trades, and if you can, if you want, you can actually query pair specific trading analytics using our APIs. Any questions till now?
Yes. So someone was asking like how is this different from Flipside and June? So how does your platform differentiate in the whole Web3 analytics data provider market?
Yes. So, um, so lot of so I talk about BitQuery mostly. So BitQuery first build APIs or infrastructure, and then build tools to access that data through infrastructure. We'll see still don't have dashboarding and sort of those things. So it's not BitQuery's major focus is to first work on a data layer to enable uh, sort of very data which require a lot, a very heavier loading which requires a lot of loading, rather than providing tools for analytics and sort of. So we currently help customers to basically take care of mostly infrastructure side. But one of the thing like Dune or Flipside is mostly focused on analytics. We rather than focus on accessibility of data. So for us, the data accessibility is more important rather than making it more meaningful. So BitQuery wants to make data more meaningful or maybe enable analytics, but we don't want to do it directly. We might want to provide data to a company who wants to build an analytical tooling. We rather work on a more data side and maybe work on more wider level technologies. Example, currently to make data more meaningful, we are working on some machine learning projects which enable more meaning to data. We already want to add more meaning to data, but we don't have analytical perspective, or we don't think in terms of building analytical tools. We think in terms of enabling data accessibility and building wider level, more wider. learning or more wider technologies which enable more meaningful use cases. We are on a layer one, on bottom layer where people build on top of us. We are more interested on this. So you can come and try to build a tool analytics on top of us. We will be very happy about it, but we don't want to build tool analytics ourselves. We might want to provide some tooling for that, but that's not the major focus. Be more like infrastructure company rather than analytics solution.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing this. And there is another question that we have here in the chat, which is the main purpose of BigQuery to use the raw data of the blockchain, or is it to create the coded tables of each platform on the blockchain?
No, of course, raw data is not valuable enough. The raw data is not much valuable. So we index data to provide more all historical data. So we want to index data to and turn into more meaningful data. Of course, raw data is not much valuable as we understand, as we said. Like so, we index data to provide all historical view of the data. So that's one of the major power. So we see data in three. There are different dimensions when we see the past, which is historical data, present, which is real time data, future, which we call mempool data, basically. So we have past and present. Future, we have it, but it is not open for public. Then, um, what was the question? Can you come again?
Sure. So the question was, is the main purpose of BigQuery to use the raw data of the blockchain, or is it to create the coded tables of each platform on the blockchain?
Yes. So we don't want to provide tables for all the things because we mostly go where there is a lot of demand. So if there's a lot of demand for NFTs, we will build more NFT specific APIs because we are infrastructure company. If there is a lot of usage of data, then we are basically if we create uh, analytics or APIs for each project which is not even in demand, we will not able to sustain our effort to enable those APIs because not more people will pay for it. For example, there are a lot of people might pay for NFT APIs, but let's say if you open APIs for some XYZ project and there's a very small community, nobody's building application on top of it, so it's not much demand of data. So we might not make money and it might take a lot of efforts to enable those things. But we have pretty interesting APIs which can directly be consumed in a more rich form. Example, I'll show you. Um, so, one second. Yes, you see smart contract calls. So we have very granular details on methods. You can actually pull data from methods and arguments. So and same for events. So we have very granular details and very specific APIs on events, methods, which can be very helpful to pull a specific project or contract related data. So you can just use this API to build your own tables and APIs basically. It is like everything is parsed. So it makes you it gives you a lot of power to um, not want to enable a specific APIs for a specific project, but is still able to consume the data for that thing or able to pull data from it. If you want, I can show you one example, just pretty fast. Yes, this is there. So this is oh sorry. Yes. You see this. This is using pancake swap pair event to pull latest uh, pancake pairs, pool tokens basically. And you see it's just pulling it because, and it's utilizing a smart contract arguments API. So you don't need to create parse like, even though we don't have, we have parse pancake APIs, but you can see like how simply you can just use to events API to pull the data from a specific project or a specific contract. Any other question?
Yeah, we do have another question, but also I just wanted to ask if there's something else you wanted to share, Gar, because we need to start wrapping up in a couple of minutes.
I think I am mostly finished. Uh, I think Bitquery, as there are a lot of questions, Bitquery is mostly infrastructure-driven company, and we very welcome analysts to keep finding more interesting thing about data because there are many times uh, uh, we are surprised how people are able to query the data, which we can't even know that this data can be queried like that. And there you can pull data from any smart contract or any sort of data if you are sophisticated enough to understand blockchain or have little sophistication about, you understand, okay, this function, this event is actually my data is, we can pretty easily give you any data for anything, and you can build analytics top of it, you can build visualization, you can integrate our APIs with like Jupyter Notebook or any BI tool example, whichever you want. It's easy to use, and we provide mm, already provide freemium plan. And if you have interest in doing some analysis, you think freemium plan is not enough, you can always reach out to us. We can always like to help you out to build analytics because we are very interested in these sort of things. You can always reach us through Telegram. We have Bloxy. Bloxy was our old project. We are currently migrating Bloxy APIs. And we have Discord. We have community forum, community.bitquery.io, website bitquery.io. We have a support, and we have Twitter. So tweet us, come us on Telegram, like ping us, anything, and just if you want, just email us at hello@bitquery.io. We are very responsive in our communication to our users.
Amazing. So do ensure to reach out if any questions pop up. And some of these links as well are shared in the YouTube event description. So you can also find them there. And then we can start wrapping up. Thank you everyone for attending, and thank you Gar so much for the excellent presentation and for answering all the questions.
Thank you, Veda, for connecting us with the community. Thank you.
Thank you. So that see you everyone in future sessions, and thank you for attending. Bye bye.